So we got some stuff to upgrade. Ooh, that's a much better grip. Right on. That is a not so good top, and we can upgrade this to carry more pulse ammo, which we're not using that, so it seems a little wasted. Still can't use that. Ooh, fusion rifle and a sniper. Still only has 3 shots though, so we'll keep the sniper just in case because it's very powerful, as you can see, and I'll show you some fusion rifle gameplay. So what have we got here? Another story mission on Earth that is our level, so let's do it, and we get the heavy weapon upgrade. We'll level 7 is kind of high. We'll keep it on level 5 just to make it a little bit more streamlined. I wish the balancing was so much that they didn't get buckets loads of life. Instead they just became more aggressive, more powerful, more better weapons. Like, they could have it where the shield is better and takes a beating, but once the shield's down they die very quickly. You know, it doesn't have to be a massive shield and then a massive life, but maybe that's just me, you know. I hate first person shooters where the enemies are bullet sponges. I always have and I always will. Like, just look at GoldenEye, look at Doom. Shit died in a shot. You had to get that shot in and it was dangerous, but it died fast, and that's what made them fun. But, you know, Destiny's gone a different way, and I'm sure a lot of people really like that. But I would rather have a boss that has a weakness, which can kill it insanely quickly if you know what it is, but it's incredibly difficult to do or tricky to set up, than any of the shit that exists in this game, where you shoot them for 40 minutes for no real reason except for, well, he's got a big yellow bar, let's get rid of it. So this is the fusion rifle. It fires a charge shot that you cannot hold. It fires when it gets to the zenith of the charge, so you have to, you know, aim as best as you can, because if you're thinking you can just hold the trigger forever and get a reward, it's not how it works. This guy's being a bitch too. Very powerful weapon, very tricky to use. I have quite a lot of experience with them because I got a legendary fusion rifle and I kind of kept it for the longest time. I'm still in fact using it. It's the most powerful weapon I own.
We're heading back through that hive breeding ground.
Okay.
The vanguards say they're spilling onto the surface now, keeping the Fallen busy.
Technically doesn't... Oh, I know where this is. We're going to get to that area where we have to defend another room and there's a bunch of hive. So technically I think I can skip this. Yeah, there's no... And this next area is hilarious. There's a Scooby-Doo moment where everybody runs into place like it's the Truman Show. Watch this. Oh, interesting they're not doing it. It might be dangerous to run through this, so we'll kill them instead. They're the same level as me, and my gun's showing its age because it's not insta-killing them on headshots, which is a bit of a shame. We'll get there in the end. 2 shots is much better than like 5 or 6 shots though. Pretty simple. Even the dregs? Wow. 37 doesn't seem so bad, but apparently against these guys have got chins of steel. Oh, he hurts. So I'm going to bounce this off the roof. Does it blind him? Blinds enough, and I'm going to skip them.
The ghosts. They're in a clearing between buildings not far from here.
Oh, here they go. Level 17 doing the cave trick. Level 25 in the cave.
The ghosts are still here. The Fallen have them.
People. Oh, wow. Alright, fellas. Fancy seeing you here. That would be a spawn point. A confused spawn point as well. Because normally... Whoa.
It's dead.
My bumper didn't work.
Keep hunting.
There you go, folks. Dropping that input. Recover the ghosts. Okay. checking some of these rooms for those treasures. Nothing. See, I completely understand people doing the cave stuff. But at the same time, I wish Bungie would give us something worthwhile to do that didn't involve caves. Is there a chest? There is a chest. Good lad. See that? That's a nice guy. I'll point at you. I don't know how to point. Thank you. He gets it. That's a nice person. That he actually he notified me that he'd opened a chest. That's one of the cooler aspects of this emergent world. When stuff like that happens. Unfortunately, there are more people who are greedy. And look, he's a super high level and he's helping out a low level, which is cool too. And you get those interesting moments like that. I mean, he might be calling me a noob and all kind of profanity on his end. I guess we'll never know. But, oh, there's that sneaky fella down here that Heretic showed me. And there's a gold chest too. The only problem with him is he's a very high level, I believe. Like that guy, that's an ultra. See how he's got a yellow life bar? That means he's going to take more damage than he should. That's how I explain it anyway. Oh, and he's going to hurt me. Oh, he's going to try and finish me too with his little shotgun. Motherfucker, he's got me dead to rights. Maybe not. Whoa!
Nothing. Find another one.
Another dead ghost. What is happening here? There's people just stood around, like, everywhere. Interesting, he gave me 20 might sensors. He's down here, this dude. Shut up, Dinklage, I'm speaking! Dickhead. Alright. This could be really stupid. He's just in here, so I'm going to be really quiet. Oh! Oh, I did not know they were there. Has that changed? Yeah, if their number next to their name is a number you cannot even see, do not even go anywhere near them, because it will mean death. This is bullshit. They're all spawned. Everyone I just killed has just spawned again. It took me long enough the first time, so we're not going there. We're going to leave. Insanity. Insanity's crescendo. Unbelievable. Oh, and these guys are back too. Ah! What? Come on, son. Play the game. I need to learn the trajectory of that special. We need to start getting some equipment that enable me to get it quicker so I can use it more frequently. That is a spawn point. What is this pointing at? Something over... Is it down here? It is. Is it not? No, it's not. Did I miss a... Aha! Missed a blatant doorway. Yeah, I think some of the interior design on this game is horrible. It's just...
The darkness is growing
like lazy and labyrinthine. It reminds me of the library from Halo, only, you know, not quite as egregious. Oh, this is it. Restrict... Oh, I remember this, because those invisible fellas fall from the roof. I'm so used to my punch exploding. Such a good move. You punch somebody into his pal and blows his mate up. This is it. See him? These guys, real dangerous. Not so good against fusion rifles, though. Wow, punched him through the wall. Shouldn't have taunted. So one of the things I found really interesting in this game was, before I played it, I looked up some of the weapon classes, and it was on a wiki or some kind of page similar. And on the pictures they showed, it looked like this game had hundreds of weapons. And I was really excited to see all the different ones. And it turns out, the game has like 5 weapons. And that really winds me up. Because not only has this game been in development for quite a long time, and if you're unaware of this, Bungie actually teased the concept of this game in Halo ODST. So this game has been, you know, ruminating for quite some time. They've had a lot of money, as we know. The budget was really, really high. It had an insanely high marketing budget, hence everybody and their parents know of it. Yet there's like 5 preset weapons. You can't pick up enemy weapons. You can't pick up weapons of other races. It's just insanely limited. Wow, we just got our drop. See you later, friend. Interesting to note, I'm not invincible when I do that. I thought I would be, foolishly. Let's check some of the stuff we picked up. See if it's worth anything. Ooh, hand cannon, that is going on. And we'll scrap that, so we're not tempted to go back. Something's hitting me. Nah, the hand cannons are a special breed of gun. Because once you go to them, it's very difficult to get off them. Because they're so goddamn good. They feel good. They sound good. They just do the work. Yeah, obviously you have to hit the heads though, or it's pointless. Heads are everything with this gun. You hit the face, they're done. Except for him. Oh shit. Oh, missed the heads because they're doing that flinch animation. And there's our bounty for killing 100 enemies without dying.
There's the controls.
Something's on me.
Codes still work.
Right. Before we do this, I'm going to double check some stuff, just in case there's any sneaky chests. I'm going to reload my guns, and this is another area where we're going to be doing the go back to where we came in, because the AI just doesn't seem to understand the concept of following us. I love that. It's like he's got a blade on his arm. Kind of like Guyver. And there's a lot of stuff I've talked about with Heretic and Aiden about this game when we play in our sessions, which I'm probably going to be parroting in these commentaries. Just ideas that we've come up with, which makes you wonder why the people being paid to come up with ideas didn't. And a lot of it is speculation that perhaps in this 10-year cycle they have very large plans. The DLC itself was incredibly expensive, so maybe it's going to come in that. Who knows, but considering you're going to third person to do your specials, it would have been nice if there was more of an emphasis on melee. An idea that I thought would be really interesting to implement would be a block feature. For instance, instead of having an automatic shield on your life, you could have a block bar, and you hold the button to block. Bloody hell, that locked on pretty well. And when you took damage when you were blocking, it dropped like your shield does, and if you block too much, your block breaks, and then they do damage to your life. And what this would allow is for skillful use of, you know, your shield, as opposed to it just kind of being there. And the idea came from playing Third Strike, because there is a parry mechanic in that game, which is one of the most interesting things I've seen in a game. And just then you saw a laser beam from the ship coming towards me, a slow-moving, very powerful single ball of energy. Just imagine if you could press a button to guard at the last possible instance, and you parried the big shot, the bullet, you took no damage, and it refilled your super meter so that you could do your special move. It would add a rewarding, skillful edge of defense to a game that makes you hide behind walls all the time, like every other game in this genre. Like, we were coming up with so many cool ideas, like the loading screens where you fly by the planet. Why couldn't it be a flying mission like the one in Reach, where you do some silly miscellaneous shmup-esque shooting game that gets you resource and glimmer? You know, the game loads so goddamn much. If they put something in those load screens, you would immediately forgive them for it. But instead, you lament it and you just curse them out because nobody wants to load for that long. This is good music, this though. It's got... Whoa. What's up with him? The dropship's going to come a few more times here, folks. You see it materialise? It will always spawn hit you, so you do not want to be near it as it spawns. Come back in here, and we'll be safe. But we've come up with so many ideas, and it just makes you wonder what the fuck Bungie was doing, because the diversity is missing. All the patrols on every planet feature you going up to characterless totems that give you miscellaneous tasks. Why is it never a band of troops or a band of guardians that are in trouble that you have to help? Why is there no human element, no narrative, no exposition? Why is there just nothing in this game? Except for shooting. And the shooting's really good. But it just can't survive by itself. As I stunlock a knight and he dies. So much promise and just nothing. Why is there no dramatic weather that affects gameplay? You know, we're on planets that are in the future that might not work the same way they do now. You know, imagine sandstorms on Mars that affected you in some way, that affected the gameplay and the enemies, that added this danger, this hazard. Why is there no passive environmental things like wildlife that's threatening and friendly and interferes with combat? Why? So many whys. Destiny could really be the most revolutionary shooter ever made, but it rests on its laurels and gives us so little for so much promise. It's very disappointing. Like, you have no control over the upgrades, the implementation. You have no real control over the colour scheme of your character because it's all in this great swathing colours as opposed to individual pieces and interesting customization and colour theory. Instead, you just look like a giant red twat. Like, this... Oh, we're in a bad spot here. Luckily enough, the Thralls have a very tough time navigating geometry. But Condemned was a shooter by Monolith which featured first-person shooting mechanics with a block and counter system. It was a really interesting game, and no games have really utilised some of the features it introduced, and it would have been nice to see this game maybe go a little bit closer to that. There is a fantastic mechanic in Destiny where when you use your special you generate light which gives other people special. This is something that almost all of your abilities should work towards. Headshots should work towards. There should be playstyles that reward your team with passives that essentially make it that if you have a team that works really well in unison, you have a constant chain of specials and abilities because you're working as a team, and you're working as a team intelligently. Oh, we both whiffed. Some classic Street Fighter footsies right there. This is an Ultra if you're wondering why he's taking so much. Interesting, the music just skipped a little then. But the loot is another interesting factor of this game. There are whites, there are greens, there are blues, and there are legendaries. That is it. There are no exotic drops. Exotics are some of the most interesting weapons in the game, but they never drop. You have to either get them randomly from engrams, or from missions, or buy them. You know? And then it leads us to probably the most insulting and asinine feature of Destiny, which is engrams that are great, a la blue ones and purple ones, can degrade when you cash them in. So just because you get a legendary drop, and the legendary drops on this game are insanely rare. An example of just how rare they are, me, Aiden and Heretic all got to level 20 before we even saw one. That is a lot of gameplay and not a lot of legendary drops. I have got 4 in an hour, and I have got 1 in 4 hours. There is no consistency, it is absolutely insane. And when you take it to the Cryptarch to see what amazing thing you've earned, it degrades into a blue, and, you know, expletives are used. It's baffling, guys. It's truly baffling, and there are so many things in this game that confuse me, that I'm going to be sharing every one of them, and hopefully you'll have some input on your end for maybe reasons why you like it, maybe reasons why you hate it. Who knows? You know, maybe we can get an interesting dialogue that, you know, extends a little bit further than just this game's a piece of shit, because anybody can, you know, say it's great or say it's bad, but it's a lot more different if you have compelling reasons for being maybe in the middle ground of the greyness of Destiny. But thank you very much for watching, and as always, you take care now.